Okay, so hello everyone, good morning. Today I'm here with you to present a session on Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. It's on the topic Better Together. We're gonna put Dynamics 365 Customer Insights and Azure Synapse and see how well it work with each other. And first of all, I would like to thank Khoa and the Vietnam community leads to reaching out to me, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today and an honor to present at your young UG here this morning. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, you can see screen now.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Well, so a little bit about myself. I'm Manonmani V S. You can call me Mano. And currently, I'm working as a senior consultant at EY with my main focus into Dynamics 365 customer engagement, Power Platform, and I'm also gaining a bit on AI. I am a Microsoft certified trainer, an active speaker, and a blogger too. So currently, I'm contributing to the ASEAN's MS BizApps UG and the MS Women in Tech as well. So we are a group of community leads running this together across ASEAN countries. That's pretty much about me. And you can connect me with LinkedIn, Twitter, and I do have a personal blog channel, YouTube blog, and a WordPress blog as well. It's dynamicmano.com. I will just quickly post the links into the chat window here, so you can just connect with me. Okay, and yep. Well, so what's in here for today? So today we're going to discuss about current business challenges, and we will have an overview of customer insights, and I will walk you through a good demo on data ingestion, unification, and how to create segments for your actionable insights. Then we will also see a little bit on enrichment and intelligence, like adding more intelligence using custom models to your unified customer data. So why do we do all this? We do this because we wanted to understand the customer better. And with that, I will wrap up giving an introduction on Azure Synapse Analytics, like how it works well with CI. And that's pretty much the takeaway for this session today. Okay, so your customer data is everywhere, right? Over the past, companies have created a lot of data, collected a lot of data from customer, but it's just lying in all these disparate systems. So what are the customer expectations? When you actually collect data from your customers, they have certain expectations. They will like have a feel that they are like they're gonna get a most relevant service when they come back to you again, and they also have a feel that you're collecting the data so that you will give them very good, excellent service. But is this really happening? 91% of customers are more likely to shop with brands that they feel like really recognize them, and 81% of buyers want the organizations to know them well when they approach them for a sale. But these expectations are actually keep on increasing, and the power is now shifted to the customer. So customer decides like whom to I mean which product they wanted to really go with. So customers really believe that they have a relationship when they make a purchase with you. But are these expectations being met by organizations? Let's take a look. So 65% of customers are frustrated by inconsistent experience across multiple channels. For example, they start a conversation in a chat window, and later on they have to communicate about the same conversation to over a phone call, and there is not much of a connection. The customer service agent should be actually able to know to start from where the conversation has left. But is that happening? Not really. And 74% of customers are frustrated with irrelevant content exposed to their mailbox, or even the letterbox. So, for example, I go down to check my letterbox, I see a bunch of brochures which is not at all relevant, and I'm not even really interested in buying those products. Some could be like property, some could be like some burgers or something, but I'm really on a diet. I don't really eat burgers, but I'm getting those irrelevant advertisements, right? So, but I'm not, what I'm expecting is I wanted to know some information about the products that I'm really keen on. So when I give my data to my to the companies, like when I make a purchase, I give my customer my details, right? So I will expect them to send me some relevant offers, which is not really happening much. And 61 percentage of customers stop doing with business with the same company. They just move. Okay, they churn out. The reason is they feel the competitor is giving a better service, so the trust has to be built. So when this is the case, like how do we actually achieve a better customer experience? How do we serve our customers well? How do we give them a personalized customer experience so that we retain them in our business? So that's the question that we are trying to answer here. So you're going to make a difference with customer insights. Let us take a look at these line of business data sources. So if you take a look, there's a lot of databases here. Your customer data is residing in all these databases, but eventually your data is of no use for you because you don't get the real value out of it, because it's like in multiple data sources. You don't get to know who your customers are, you don't get to know how many unique customers you have, you don't get to know who is going to be churned out, right? So there is no joint taxonomy between these systems. These are silos, they do not interact with each other. So it's really hard to use analytical tools on this kind of data data sets. Okay, so what's with customer insights? What is the offer now? The customer insights helps you to bring all this customer data together into a single source of truth. I call it a single source of truth because it's just unified and you have a holistic view from the database itself. So you have the unified customer profiles, and with this you're going to create a rich set of analytics. It's going to be pretty easy when your data is in one place. And moreover, you're just mapping all the customer data to the common data model. So common data model, as you know, is an initiative on the open data initiative, right, from Microsoft. I think say SAP and Adobe, they came up with this initiative to go with some common data model. So the schemas will be like similar across certain entities, so it makes it easier to integrate all this data together. So that being the idea, you're going to just pull all the data sets and unite together into this unique customer profiles. So if you have this unique customer data, you're going to just orchestrate the customer journey across multiple touch points, interaction touch points, and through various channels as well. And with this, it's definitely going to be a better option for creating AI driven analytics, because for AI, you must understand the data is a critical source for AI. So if your data is not really organized, your AI will definitely gonna be a failure. So for you to have a machine learning driven analytics, your data is really crucial, and customer insights talks about that. Well, so as you see in this diagram, you're gonna like deal with behavioral data, transactional data, and demographic data. So you're gonna get a holistic view of all this data in one single place, and you can just once you have the unified profiles, you will be like connecting it to other data sources to pull out data like purchases or the other spend, average spend, the product interest, all this data can be like viewed with this single holistic view. And after that, you're gonna just push it into channels of communication like it could be like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it's coming from, you can just give it back as well. And with customer insights implementation, you're going to increase your revenue by at least 5 to 10%, and you're going to just decrease the implementation cost by 15 to 25%. Okay, so a customer data platform. So you should understand that the underlying platform is customer data platform. The CI is built on top of this platform, and this is not the traditional CRM system, and it is not a data management platform. It just holds your customer data, and it's not even a personalization tool or a master data management tool. Okay, it's just don't think it's just solely built for analytics and visualization. It is a purpose built platform, and we will see the capabilities later. So what's Microsoft's approach? There are four stages here. We start with the data, then the unification, and we gain some insights, actionable insights from the unification, unified profiles. And after the insights is in hand, you're going to start taking action on your data. So you start with this data in these disparate systems, like it could be the internal data or external data, and it could be like lying in all of these databases. It could be like website, email, loyalty, like POS, purchase. All this data can be like ingested straight away into your customer insights instance without much effort. You will have inbuilt connectors. Like if you're familiar with Power Platform, you have the out of box data connectors, right? So something similar to that is available in customer insights as well. So you can very well leverage on them. We will just take a look at the connectors later, availability. And once the data is ingested into the CI instance, you're going to do the unification. Then that's a three-step process. You will be mapping your tables and data sets, and you will create some match rules, like on what rule you're supposed to like match your profiles. Then you will do merging as well. So once the records are merged, the customer data from multiple sources are merged, you will have a single unified customer profile, and that's the single source of truth for all your interaction touch points with your customer. Okay, and after that, you can also do additional enrichment using Microsoft Graph API. Then you can do a rich analytics out of it. You can gain a lot of insights. You can measure and you can segment the customer data now. And you can also start applying additional AI capabilities, because the data here, as I mentioned earlier, is like unified, and you can just connect this to your Azure ML Studio, pass this data in Azure Blob Storage, and you can just create some models and train them using this data and use it for prediction or recommendation, whatever the model is tailored to do. And you can extend this like one this is a standalone system, like do not get confused. This customer insights, you don't really need any other Dynamics 365 in licenses. This is a standalone product, and once your data is like unified, you can just consume it in Microsoft Dynamics 365 sales, marketing. You can use it in the Power Platform as well, like Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, and any other third party integration is also possible. Okay, and you can, once your data and insights are available, you can start publishing it to the channels like mobile, web, social, bots, etc. And interestingly, there's a recent release for customer insights that's pretty interesting. It's called customer insights bots for teams. So you can consume your customer insights data right into your team's bot. Okay, and you can just start collaborating it with your team. Okay, so without much harangue, let's quickly get into a demo now. Hold on, I'll pull out my browser here. Okay. Um, okay, hold on. Let me project my screen. Here it is. So this is the customer insights instance of mine, and I'm on the demo instance. So when you sign up for a trial, you will be like loaded with the demo instance, and later you can just explore and you can start creating your own data sets, bring in your own data and just try around like for 30 days. And let me quickly walk through this instance and give you a tour of like what it is and how it's being done, but for a detailed demo on each and every step on how to do it yourself for a hands-on experience, I have blogged the details in my video blog in my YouTube channel. I have provided the link. You can just go there and take a look. There's a couple of videos on customer insights. So, where do you start with? In the approach we have seen, we are going to start with data, right? So, go to the left side in the navigation pane and click on the data sources. And this is a pre-cooked environment. You will see everything ready here. And you have the website data, dynamics data, per point of sale, and the churn scores as well. So, this is from the machine learning models. So, if you go to the point of sale, you will see like two data sources. Hold on, I'm not able to edit this. That's fine. I'll go into my own data environment here. I have two data sources as well. Well, okay, here's my data source. So the first step is like you will create a data source. Once you click create, you will be having options to import it from files, databases, or you can even connect it to a common data service or Azure storage as well, data lake as well. So the next step will be like you will be giving it a name. For example, I give it as website and okay, already exists. So email, click next. Okay. So I just wanted to show you the connector availability here. I'm not going to create one. Later we will move on to explore the entities. It's loading. Give it a few seconds. So, yep. So these are the connectors that's available at the moment. So you will notice that you don't try to need to even like integrate using like some codes or programs, just plug and play concept, right? You just have to drag and drop. You just have to like establish a connection by giving the server names and the credentials, and you're just ready to pull in data, establish a communication with the other systems. So like you have text CSV files and other Oracle or Sybase system SQL Server. Interestingly, you will have option to connect with the Azure Blob data lake and the Azure SQL data warehouse as well, the Synapse Analytics. We will just take a look later, and you can connect to online as well. And Power Platform, you'll be connecting with CDS. So that being said, your data sets are ready here. I mean, your data sources are ready here. I have pulled into a few of these data sources. And once that's done, you will take a look at the entities. So these are the entities that I have imported, like e-commerce contacts, purchases, loyalty customers, and point of sale. So once you import these entities, like you can just go here and check on the data in it, and it gives you a preview as well, like what's in that data set, particular data set. You have an option to create a view the summary of this particular attribute level summary is also possible. It's like these are all the rich visuals you get out of box in CI instance. And after you have your entities ready, you will be like doing the unification. So for the unification part, like you will be like doing a three-step process. The first one is to map. So what do you mean by mapping? So when you map entities, you're gonna like establish a mapping between your imported data source and this common data model here. So you just take a look at the column and type here. This is the customer insights common data model, and you're going to map all the attributes in your customer data wherever it is residing into this common data model. So this has a predefined attribute. A list of attributes will be available, and you have to just map your data according to this. So don't worry if you don't have some of the fields, it's totally fine. So just map whatever is relevant, and just set up the primary ID for the mapping. Like for example, e-commerce will be mapped based on contact ID, and the loyalty customers will be mapped based on loyalty ID. So once that mapping is done, you're gonna just set up some match rules. So how would you like to match these data from these two sources? So we're gonna just say, hey, just match based on the email and full name. That's the rule I have set up. You can just leverage like full capability, like it depends on whatever is relevant for your scenario. Okay, so here you can do some normalization, you can set the precision level. So why do you need to set this precision level? So in as you're aware, this customer insights is driven by the AI model at the back end, right? So the AI model is actually doing the merging for you, merging the merging the profiles to generate a unique customer profile. So what do you mean by that? Even if there is not an exact 100% match, so in traditional like if you go with Power BI or any other tools that you use for merging or combining these data, it will just go on one-to-one match, right? So it has to be exact match. So if you write a query, you will be like merging two data sets based on a rule. It's based on the specific rule, and if the rule is like matched, you will be getting the output. If it is no, then you're not gonna get the output. But here it's slightly different, and that's the key benefit of using customer insights. You're not gonna just you're just gonna tell the AIs that it could be like, even if it is like 80% match or 90% match, I'm fine with that, because there could be some mistakes, typos, and it's like it's okay to just tolerate. You will have some tolerance level of accepting the mismatch, right? So that can be set here. It could be like low, medium, high, and exact. You do have an option to set custom as well. So when you choose custom, you will be giving it in a percentage proportion. And once that's done, you can keep on adding additional conditions. So this matching is done based on the full name, on mid high precision, and the email is as well high precision. I will love you to see the results yourself. You will be just impressed by how the AI has done the merging. Okay, so if you have noticed here, this record here is just 98% match. Okay, it's not definitely 100%. Notice that like a lot of records you will see like 98, 96, but even then the profiles are merged. So what is the reason? Because if you notice, it's Felger Robert according to e-commerce contacts, but if you go into the loyalty scheme database, it's slightly different. It's like the other way around, Robert Felger, right? But the AI is capable to understand it represents the same name. Okay, and it just compares the email as well, then it does the mapping for you. Okay, so you can just have a preview here of whatever is like matched, and you can also download this data for your analysis. Okay, so that's pretty much about matching. You can also see the match run data here, last match run, and next step will be to do a merge. So after you run the match, you will be merging. Interestingly, the AI model behind will do the automatic merging for you. You don't need to specify anything here. Out of box, this will understand what has to be matched. So if it doesn't find any match, for example, um, e-commerce contacts has country, but in your loyalty database we don't have country, right? So if that is the case, it will just keep this as a separate field, and these fields are existing in both, from this first name till created on, are existing in both the data sets. So it has done a merge automatically. So you will see first name will be merged from loyalty customers and e-commerce contacts as well. Okay, similarly for the rest. So in case if you decide to remove or merge this with some other attributes, you can just select this one and click combine fields. Like if you think loyal reward points and some other field here has like make some sense to combine, you can just click on this combine fields and select whatever is like relevant for you to combine. That option is also available for you. So once that's done, you will go back to your customers and currently you have merged, but you still have to do a little bit more to get this view, and that's the search and filter index. So the next step will be like you will be setting up some filter indexing, and this will index your customer profiles. The reason why we do this is we gonna consume this data in other applications, right? Like external applications. So when you query from the external application, for example, if I'm into the Teams bot and I'm typing a query to pull out the customers in US region, I will just type USA and it's gonna pull out filter and pull out the customers in US region. Or if I want to like pull out a specific customer profile, I'm just gonna give key in the first name or the last name, and if that is a match, if that's a match in the customer insight instance, it will just pull out the profile for me. So that's the reason you're gonna index and add filter index here, search and filter index here. So this will allow you to search from the external systems. Well, that's pretty much done, and you will see a lot of customer cards here lying as tiles. So if you open one of those cards, you will get the details from multiple systems. So instead of going here, I will now switch to my demo instance because that's where you will have a rich visual. It's like combined with multiple data sources, and it also has some insights. So I can just show you a rich customer profile here in this view. So let me click on one of my customer here. Okay. Wow. So you will see the tile here showing data from loyalty and e-commerce. Like this one is like POS, the point of sale customers, and this is from Dynamics, and this data is from loyalty as well. So it's all brought in together. And if you see here the timeline itself, you will see like let me scroll down. So in 2017, this customer had some unopened emails. Further down, oh my god, the transaction has started in the year 2011, historic data, right? And you will be like seeing all the interaction touch points of this customer through various systems all in one place. So what does this enable you? So uh, as a back officer or a customer or a sales representative, if I open my tablet and if this data is visible for me, I can initiate better conversation with my customers. I can recommend what the customer is actually interested in, and I can also automate some of the processes in the back end, knowing the understanding the customer better. So you can just think of a lot of scenarios based on this customer details that I have explained to you. And also you have the capability of creating some rich measures out of this unified profile. So here are a few examples. So this is something similar to that you create in your Power BI, but but here it's like coming from the unified customer profile, and you're going to link that one with other tables so to get the holistic rich view of your customer, the 360 view of your customers. So here is the number of online purchases, the total spend, average online spend. So if I open one, I'm gonna just hold on, let me edit this, and you will see that I'm just creating it combining with the customer insights data with um, the other tables here. Okay. So So once I have my measures, I can create segments. Okay, so segments allow you to come up with a cohort of customers who fall in specific category. For example, if you just have one whole database, you're not gonna understand derive measures out of it, right? So it's ideal for you to like segment your customer data so that you can perform some targeting targeted marketing, or you can just focus on a specific group of customers for a specific opportunity, so you can enhance your sales and marketing and also your customer service as well. Like for example, if you think some of your customers are having a issue with specific product, you can just group them and you can just understand like what kind of concern they have. So there's a lot of scenarios you can think of for segmenting your the reason why you segment your customer profiles. And here, for example, there is this customers average high spend. Okay, so this segment of customers are really okay, this is a high churn customer uh, segment. So this is a segment that's really critical for my business, because this segment of customers are likely to be churning out from my business, and I need to take the next best action to retain them with my business. So get a preview here once you create the segment, and this timeline here gives you the data of data plots of when the data was refreshed. So ideally your segments will be automatically refreshed every 12 hours. You can also schedule to refresh in the admin settings, like at least 6 hours once is ideal for you to refresh your data. And Microsoft is working on real time data refresh as well. You'll be like hearing soon, like just keep watching what's new in the release. So that being said, we now have a new feature to have insights on your segments. So imagine you have two segments of customers, and you would like want to know like who are overlapping in these two segments. If you're keen to know that set of customers, or there's another scenario like you want to know like what kind of customers are not in the same not in both the segments, like you're just trying to find the overlapping and differentiator. These are like this are, might be critical in your business, right? So you can just leverage the insights to understand, like for example this the differentiator. If I click on this, you will know like based on the country or gender, you will be able to differentiate the segments, or based on measures also, like total online spend, on churn risk. These are the measures that we have created. So based on this also you can just come up with a differentiator score, like in simple terms, how different is one segment from the other one, or how similar is the one segment to the other one. So that's the insight that you're going to get. Just see, it's like your data is into action now. It's like you get rich visuals. It's just amazing, right? It's like pretty fast also. You're going to get a lot of insights out of this platform. Okay, and now that I have explained segments, and we will go to the administration part now. So once you have your segments in hand, so what's next? So why do we do all this? Why did we even bring in all the customer data and unify and create measures segments? So we're gonna just export the segment, so a segment of customer data, and utilize it in your line of business applications. For example, it could be customer engagement apps, marketing, sales, or power apps, simple power apps, or power automate. You can automate some of the actions for the next best action, right? Okay, so I see some questions. I'll come back to the questions in a while. Let me quickly wrap up the intelligence and the Azure Synapse Analytics as well. Okay, so under the intelligence part, you have predictions and custom models. So what is this custom model doing here? So custom models are taking your business, taking your analytics to the next level. So you have now capability to bring in data and create measures, segments, right? So after this, what you do, like you can tailor with some specific models based on your business requirements, and you will be like exporting the data from customer insights into the Azure blob storage, and you will be like utilizing that to create rich custom models, AI models. And once that model is created and trained with this data, you can bring back that as a web service here. Let me, I don't think I can edit this. Okay. Um, Actually, you're creating a new workflow here. So this workflow will establish a connection between the customer insights instance and your machine learning model. So that model will be like exposed as a web service, and that web service can be called here, and you will be just passing some inputs from here, and that will run the model and give you the prediction score or product recommendation, like whatever it is supposed to be returned to you. So that value can be used in your segments here. So that's one they have done already, the churn prediction. If you notice, um, I don't think I have option to edit this one. Yep. Yeah, I have. Okay. So this actually is coming from the churn scores. The scored probabilities is the value that the model, the churn prediction model, is outputting as a web service output. And I'm just getting if the churn score is greater than 7, and you just pull those customers into this segment. Okay. So I hope it's quite clear for you now how this all works, how to pull this all together. So for a detailed I mean, I have done a very detailed step-by-step video on how to create a custom model using Azure Machine Learning Studio and how to integrate it with your customer insights. So that's in my blog. You can check that out later. And all whatever I have explained now is a very fast track summary, but this really will require some deep understanding. The step-by-step guidance I have provided in my blogs. Okay. And let me go to this predictions. So you can set up some predictions based on I mean AI based predictions on your customer insights profile, the unified customer profile. For example, if some customers are missing some data, for example, it could be gender or any data. If you think is missing, you can just run a run a prediction. It's out of box capability, and you can run a prediction, and that will actually that will actually predict some data on your customer profile, the missing values on your customer profile. But keep in mind the GDPR, all that you have to handle, take care. It's like will be your responsibility. Okay. Well, so that's pretty much I have to show here. Let me go back to the entities again. There's something more I wanted to show. So once you start creating the unified customer profile, you will be like noticing this customer entity is created. So this customer entity is what we are very interested in, right? The holistic view. Okay. This combines all the data, and most often people think that customer insights will be like pulling in data like and keeping all the like combining all the data into a very big data set, but that's not actually right. The customer data set here will only hold data relevant to customer attribute. Okay, you're only storing customer information here. For example, it could be like the profile details, name, email, contact, or gender, or it could be like locality. So these data will be available, the identities will be available. Then later you have to establish a connection from here to the underlying child records. For example, it could be the point of sale, the the loyalty database, or any other transactional database has to be like linked to this unified customer profile. So by linking that way, you will be able to like pull in details from the child records. For example, like let me go into the relationships here. You're going to just set up some relationships on your own. Like for example, the here from online purchase to uh, yeah, this one is from e-commerce to online purchase, or you can just create from website to your customer insights. So this is something like you will be like setting up on your own, and this activities is what you have seen on the timeline, right? You can set up the activities based on your unified customer profile. So when you set up this activities, you will be like able to bring in all the unstructured data, the interaction touch points on your customer insights profile timeline. Okay, so that's pretty much, I think I have covered for the customer insights part. Now I'll go to the export destinations, but before that I will go back to my slide, and let me just pull out this slide here. Okay. So now you have seen, you now have an understanding of customer insights, right? So often people have this question. So why customer insights? Why not the traditional customer analytics like in Power BI or any other systems? Okay. So the reason is the traditional customer analytics are actually custom built, and the platform will be like hard coded, and you will feel it really hard to adapt. And moreover, your data is in silos, it's not unified as you see in customer insights. So what happens now, the time to implement will be like in months or more, and you will need a deep technical expertise to perform such kind of analytics. And moreover, you cannot really come up with rich analytics because the you cannot actually implement AI with such kind of a siloed data source. But customer insights actually fills all this gap. It's a finished SaaS solution and easily configurable, and you can also extend it further because the data is residing on your Azure data like in the backend, and it's on the customer data platform. And this insights can be actually embedded into any of the system that you're currently using, because it has capability to integrate with external system and the existing and the Microsoft product suite itself, like Dynamics 365 sales, marketing, etc. And trust me, the time to implement this is in measured in weeks. But if you're just trying out, you just go back home today and start this customer insights in a day module. You will be like able to complete it before evening. Trust me, it's pretty fast for you to understand and configure, and like it definitely will reduce the cost of implementation, and it gives you a better analytics and actionable insights. Okay, so now let's see how customer insights works well with Azure Synapse. Well, so far we have seen, we have been always talking about customer data, right? Like how to bring them together and unify that. Now Microsoft is like introducing a combined power of Azure Synapse Analytics and customer insights. Okay, now customers can not only unify the customer data, but they can also combine the benefit of using it, benefit of like putting it together with the operational data, financial data, or any unstructured or structured data, okay, with the help of linking it to the Azure Synapse Analytics. So Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but like it's formerly called as the Azure SQL data warehouse, right? So you'll be like dealing with lot of data like big data, or you will be like having IoT data, real-time streaming, and just imagine the power like it brings in when you just integrate these two together. You're gonna just like take your business to the next level. Okay, and hold on. Okay, and uh, w- actually you will be like setting it up in actually you have all your data in the common data model, right? So it's like makes it really easier to combine and get the analytics. And when it comes to Azure Synapse Analytics, like you will be like importing the data there, and you will be like using out of box, like just drag and drop concept only. You don't need to have really high technical skills to do this. Like just understand the concepts, like you'll be like getting it going. And I will show you like where you actually establish a connection in the customer insights. You will have you will have a out of box connection card in customer insights in the export destination. You will just click and you will be like taken to configure the data source, server name, data source, and once you log in, you will be able to export the data, and it will be like available in your Azure portal under the storage account that you have created. So once your data is there, you can like do pull into your like load it into your Azure SQL pool and start creating analytics. And the analytics created there, that's a combined analytics with customer data and your finance or operational data, right? So that can be again passed back into customer insights later for combining and getting a holistic view, not only from other systems, but also from the financial systems as well. For example, if you want to like understand whether you can approve a credit card for a customer, you can just go and verify the previous year past transactions, like how they have performed, and based on that you can take decisions. So you will be just using Azure Synapse Studio to import customer insight data and do the analytics, and this can be like consumed back in your customer insights instance. Okay, yeah. That's pretty much I wanted to show you now today. Okay, it's like a overview diagram, and both can be combined together by leveraging the common data model. Okay. So that's pretty much I wanted to share with you today. And again, you can connect with me. Here are the links I have shared already to you. And let me just show you the export destination here. So I told you earlier, like you will be consuming your customer insights data in multiple systems, right? Like these are the rich set of connectors available for you to export your data, actually not bringing in but exporting. For example, like you can using API, you can connect to external third-party systems, you can connect to export to blob storage, Synapse analytics, that's what we have discussed now earlier, and the customer service. Also you can export it to Teams as well. This is all out of box available for you. Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, that's where we'll be like using it more frequently, right? And you can set up export destinations. When you set up export destination, it will be like doing an auto refresh from your segments. Okay, so that's pretty much I wanted to show you. And if you go to the data sources, earlier I think I have shown you the Azure Synapse Analytics data source. So that's where you will pull in your data back from your Azure Synapse Analytics. So you will be sending it from here, the export destination. So this data, customer insights data, will be sent from export destination using this connector card to your Azure, sorry, this one, to your Azure Synapse Analytics instance. And once the analytics are done, then you will be like consuming that data from the data sources and importing it into a data source. So that's pretty much I have for today. Let me now move on to the Q&A. And I hope I have some questions. I believe I have seen something on Teams chat. Okay. Okay, so there's one question. The data could be coming from different data source. So what would be the behavior of the data source if the data of the data source is changed? Okay, so the data actually, when you establish a connection, right, it gets refreshed automatically. Okay, by default I believe it is 12 hours. You can set up the refresh in the admin section, like it's recommended to have 4 refresh per day, but you can actually have more, and Microsoft is working on real-time data refresh as well. So any more questions, you can just unmute your mic and ask me. Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Mano.
Hey, hi.
And I have a question about this solution is related to the AI for sale or AI for customer service.
Uh, Pardon?
The customer insight is related to AI for sale or for customer service, right?
This customer insights is different from customer service insights, so do not confuse those. These are two different products. So customer service insights is the capability of customer service platform itself. It's inbuilt there. This customer insights is totally isolated. It's a different platform, and you will be like bringing in all data sources that has customer data and create a unified customer profile. Then you can including your customer service data can be brought in here. You have out of box dynamics connector, and you can bring in your customer service data into customer insights and create rich unified profiles and rich insights, and those insights can be consumed as a small card in your customer service again. Yes, hope that
Okay.
makes clear. I understand like a lot of people have this confusion between customer insights and customer service insights. We did have market insights as well, so it's like totally different components. And Microsoft is going to come up with actually it's in preview, I believe. Finance insights is also available similar to customer insights. They do have finance insights. It's in preview, recently released in the month of May.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. And I have one more question about
Okay.
the which language the customer insight support? Which
um
language?
Language, I'm not sure. I have to check that. I haven't explored that honestly. Yeah,
Um,
I know like you must be concerned now. You will be like having your data in different language. I think there should be language support. I'm not sure.
you
I
know,
can check in.
in Vietnam, the
Hey,
language specify is very localization. So
Oh, localization. Okay, okay. I have to check that part for you. I can check and get back to you offline. Okay.
can I answer the question?
yeah.
Oh, yep, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Let's
yeah,
elaborate.
yeah. Thanks. So I think I say about the Unicode. So it's not belong to the languages as well, because this is the combination when you using the database, and it will move your database. So it depends on data source. So if your data source is Unicode, so you definitely can support the Unicode, even Vietnamese, French, Russian, something like this. So I think the language is not a problem.
Yeah. It mean in the Vietnamese language it used to.
Yeah. The if the Vietnamese language using the Unicode, so I think definitely it works.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Khoa, do you have any question about?
Now it's good for me. It was amazing demo, Mano.
Hey,
Manuel,
Jacob.
can I have a question about the integration, the use case when you integration the customer insight and Azure Synapse Analytics? So do you
Like
have any use case or something like?
yep, you can think of integrating your finance data
Mm-hmm.
with customer data, because customer insights you can only unify profiles for your customer data, right? So you
Yep.
can like think of scenarios where you like deal with big data and you want to create machine learning models based on big data, because machine learning models work well when you have a rich set of data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like taking it to advanced level of doing ML on your data for analytics. So that's when you can think of Azure Synapse Analytics.
So let's say I can think of about the situation when I use the integration, the functionality of customer insight when I using the match and machine learning inside the customer insight, and after that with other stuff like uh, advanced analytic or data warehouse, I can definitely can use the
Yes.
result of the customer insight provide to me.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So for
got your point.
matching and unifying the customer data, the
Mm,
customer insights platform itself having the AI capability to do that out of box. On top
mm,
of that, you can add some for the same data it available in your customer insights. You can
mm,
do some custom models as well. But beyond that, if you want to still further take it to a complex machine learning model
mm,
capability, you want to create a ML capability on your data for analytics,
yeah,
then you can consider having your data in Azure SQL data, so data warehouse. That's the
yeah.
because that's where your data, finance data, and all will be residing already, right? So you can just
Mm,
integrate them together.
yeah. So it's very good to
Yeah,
know it. Thanks.
thank you. Any other questions, guys? And thanks, David, for answering that question. I really learned something from you today.
Yeah, me too. So
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing to have more the interview section with you for Vietnamese markets. On behalf
That's
of
absolutely
Microsoft,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
on behalf of Microsoft, we have a lot of people would like to know more about the customer insight as well as the Power Platform. So
Okay.
so it's really good to learn more from you guys. Thanks.
Thank you so much, David. I will absolutely love to be part of this young growing community. I'm really impressed today morning because like you guys started at 8:30. I couldn't imagine. It's too early for me. And the amount of questions coming in and the way you guys interact, it's like I have just pulled into a study group. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see
You
more.
know, this is
Yeah.
the first time I'm joining this community, but I think very helpful for all
Yeah.
the people who joining the meeting. And after that, I hope the records will be revived for the community so that anyone can learn from you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so this recorded session will be uploaded to our ASEAN's BizApps community
Yep.
YouTube channel. It will be available there. Khoa will share the links with the meetup members today, the audience, and we will have I really appreciate like all of the attendees to be part of this. Like you're not only learning, but also you can start sharing, contributing. You can come up and speak in this kind of sessions. Like
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
this platform
Absolutely. Yeah.
is great. Yeah,
Really appreciate
yeah.
your time. Yep. Thanks.
Thanks so much. And there's a feedback form. It will definitely help Koa to come up with more
Yes.
innovative thoughts. You leave your thoughts there for him. So let's like grow this community further. Yeah. Thanks, Koa. Nice to
Thanks,
be here.
Mana. Thanks, Mana, for your time sharing with us. And I appreciate your time here. Um, Thanks everyone for questioning, and we are coming to our last session. Don't forget to give your feedback um, on the uh, on the form I put in the chat window with a link. So thank you, Mano. We hope to see you in future events.
Sure, Koa. Love to.
Okay, so now we are to the next, going to the next session. Phà, are you there? Có đó Phà ơi.
Ok, để em share cái screen trước.